Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Florence Manswell, Real Estate Flow. Go with flow. Um, I just read an interesting article, and the title was Southern California Home Sales Crash, a warning sign to the nation. Do you guys think that whatever goes on in Southern California causes the rest of the country to follow suit? Some people say they do, and other people don't believe that. I don't know. I live in California. I sell homes in California. I do real estate in California. And it's a little bit disconcerting, but the market is moving. But the article says that sales of both new and existing houses and condominiums dropped 11.8% year over year as prices shot up to a record high, according to CoreLogic. The median price for all Southern California homes sold in June was recorded at 536,000 thereabouts, according to CoreLogic, a 7.3% increase compared to June of 2017. In the past, California, one of the largest housing markets in the nation, has been a predictor for the rest of the country. That's what they're saying. Southern California homes hit the brakes in June. Now, this just happened in June. This is the end of July, and already they're claiming the sky is falling. See, I just don't believe some of this stuff. It's like let's get in a groove. Everybody seems to be so worried. It's like they don't give trends a chance. There's a lot of people in California that's trying to be pre-approved. There's a lot of people who are trying to buy a home but can't afford it. The down payment is too high. So if there's a break in June that it's not skyrocketing and it's 11.8% drop, or why get upset? I mean, consider all the other things. But anyway, I digress. Southern California homes hit the brakes in June, falling to the lowest reading for the month in 4 years. Sales of both new and existing homes and condominium dropped 11.8% year over year as prices shot up to a record high. The report covers Los Angeles, Riverside, San Diego, Ventura, San Bernardino, and Orange counties. Sales fell 1.1% compared to with May, but the average change from May to June, going back to 1988, is 6% gain. The weakness was especially apparent in sales of newly built homes, which were 47% below the June average. Part of this is that builders are putting up fewer homes, so there are simply less to sell. You see how that works? It's not that people are not buying, it's that it's the builders are not building because the demand isn't there, and so it's less to sell. That's where they get their figures from. A portion of last month's year over year sales declines reflects one less business day for deals to be recorded compared with June of 2017, noted. But affordability and inventory constraints are likely the main culprits in last month's sales slowdown, which applied to all 6 of the region's counties and across most of the major price categories. And that to me is the problem. The inventory is low and affordability is low. I mean, that is the problem. And instead of looking at that as the problem and how we can solve it, we're looking at, oh, the people are not buying property. Is that the end of all ends? It makes no sense, but that's how they look at these things. And see, when you make decision based on not what really is happening and what you want to project, you kind of manipulate the system and manipulate it in such a way that you don't solve the problem, which is affordability and inventory. You create a problem by saying, oh my God, sales are going down. Is this the end of the boom? And that gets it, it's kind of creates a snowball effect, and people start getting nervous and, oh, I'm not going to buy anything. I'm going to wait. I'm not going to sell anything. I'm going to wait. And that just creates a problem. So I really think that, the people who are in the know, the people who have the knowledge, the people who are making decisions are manipulating the people who have to keep this economy going, which is the people who can't afford it, and the people who wants to sell but is afraid to sell because they think this is not the right time, or the people who want to buy but they can't afford it. They're being manipulated into not doing anything because the people who are in a position to create and solve problems, instead they create the problem. They don't solve the problem because they make money and we don't progress. And that's how they use real estate to manipulate the masses. The median price paid for Southern California homes sold in June were on record as 536,250, according to CoreLogic, 7.3% increase compared with June 2017. While part of that is due to the mix shift, since there are fewer lower price homes for sale, it is becoming increasingly clear that fewer buyers are able to play in the high price range. That is the problem. See, that is the problem. Now, what are we going to do to solve that problem and not create a problem saying, oh, the prices are going, this home sales are going down. Home sales won't go down if the prices were where they're supposed to be. People want to buy. I know a lot of people who want to buy, but it's too high. They're being priced out of the market. So how many people, there's more people who are being priced out of the market than there are people who can afford to buy these homes. That's the problem. I keep saying that's what the problem is. We need to solve that problem. But the greedy people of the world don't want to solve that problem, because if they can't make money, if they can't take all the money now off the table, nobody else gets it but them. So hey, where we're at. Sales below 500,000 dropped 21% on a year-over-year basis, while deals of 500,000 or more fell about 3%, marking the first annual decline for the price category in nearly 2 years. Home sales of 1 million or more last month rose just a tad, less than 1%, from a year earlier, following annual gains of between 5% and 21% over the prior year. See, people who can afford $1 million or over, they already bought over the past 5 years. How many $1 million houses can you buy? Or can an average person buy? So the properties that are below 500,000, there's a drop 21%. Houses that are above 500,000 fell 3%. And then there was no increase. There was an increase on the $1 million, but it was less than 1%. So overall, in California, we're being priced out. Even the $1 million mark is being priced out. So you have people who are not being want to buy, but they can't buy. People who can afford to go above 500,000 is only so many of those people, and they already bought. And then you have the $1 million people, only so many of those. I mean, California have a lot of millionaires, but come on. We have a lot of people who can't afford a $1 million property. Do we have a lot of people who cannot afford a $500,000 or above? So that's the problem. That's the problem. Okay, now I want to point out the rise in mortgage rates as well. That could be another problem over the past 6 months. Increasingly, significantly, a borrower's monthly payments rates haven't been moved much in the past month, but it has risen in the past 6 months. But are suddenly going higher again this week. This week in July, they said that between May and June there was a problem. So how do we solve the problem? We raise the interest rate. Is that how you solve a problem? You have people who cannot afford under 500,000. You have people who can afford over 500,000, but they don't want to buy. And you have the $1 million markers who don't want to buy. Why? Because borrowing money all of a sudden is getting more expensive. And they say we have a problem. So you got people gouging you with the money when for a couple of years the price, the interest rates was low and people were buying. Now all of a sudden you raising the raising the interest rates, and you're worried and you're thinking something is going wrong because you can't find buyers who want to buy and get loans at a higher rate. Come on, that's the problem. Why is the interest rates going up at a time where people cannot afford to borrow this money? You can't afford over 500,000. There's hardly any houses out there for $500,000 or less. And now you say, okay, well, we're gonna raise the. That's not the solution. Is that the solution? I don't think that's the solution. In my humble ideas of looking at it, this is not the solution to raise the prices right now, raise the interest rates, the cost of money right now. In the past, California, one of the largest housing markets in the nation, has been a predictor for the rest of the country. Home prices have been rising everywhere amid a critical housing shortage. Prices usually lag sales by several months, and sales are becoming a crumble, even as more inventory comes on the market. The supply of homes for sales increased annual in June for the first time in 3 years, according to the National Association of Realtors, but sales fell for the third straight month. Yes, because the interest rates are higher. The cost of borrowing money is higher. The houses are more expensive, and there's not a whole lot out there. I don't care what you guys are saying about the inventory. The inventory is low. In Ladera, the properties, there's hardly anything for sale. And as soon as one thing goes up, it's sold in a week. So I don't know what inventory they're talking about. There isn't that much inventory. It's not a lot of business going on. And you're making it worse by raising the interest rates. I mean, it's still good compared to what it used to be. But, when we're used to, it was thriving at 3.5%. Now, people are getting scared. People are getting antsy. People don't want to venture out. Because remember what happened in 2007, 2008, 2009? People who ventured out in 2005, got a beating on the real estate market. People remember that. It's not that long. It was only like 10 years ago. People haven't forgotten. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on real estate today. So let me know what you guys think. What you gonna do? Are you gonna venture into the real estate market now that they're spouting out this poison, making people afraid to get out there and mix it up in real estate? Because the more of us that get into the market, the better for us. But chat about it. Let me know what you think. Um, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.